And welcome back, guys, to another episode of Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. In the last part, we finished off our date with Lily, and we cheered her up after, though we don't know what about, her sister needed to talk to her, and it left her in sort of a poopy mood. But we are now heading to Hanako's birthday party, and she left us a note in the tea room. Not reassured, I continue walking down the hallway until I reach Lily's dormitory room. I hesitate for a second, but eventually give 3 sharp taps on the door. A brief and muffled exchange of words can be heard from the other side. Listening closer, I can just pick out Hanako and Lily's voices. As they finish, Lily calls out, "Might that be Hisao?" "Yep, I got the note you left for me." "You can come in. The door is unlocked." Glad that I managed to get the right room, I press down on the handle and let myself in. As the door swings open, my greeting to them is stolen from my mouth. Oh, it's a pajama party. Oh, oh no! Were we supposed to wear our pajamas? Oh no! Oh no! We're having a pajama party, guys! Lily sits at the low table in the center of the room in her pajamas, while on the other side sits Hanako in a nightgown. Being dressed in only my normal school clothes, I feel quite out of place. I steal a quick glance at the lovely sight of the two, my eyes tearing themselves from Lily's long, thin, and pale legs, only with a measure of reluctance. Hi, I think I brought everything that was needed." She smiles and nods. I wonder if she's even aware of the pleasant sight she makes. The thin, dark blue silk of her pajamas. It's more like black to me. I don't really see the blue all that much, but the thin, dark blue silk of her pajamas really suit her, accentuating both her eyes and her curves. The look of her last night. The look of her last night, that tentative and almost shy demeanor, seems all but replaced with her coy nature. It's nice to see her confidence return, though I can't help casting my mind back to how she looked back then. I look to Hanako, who nervously sits opposite her in her gown. It isn't a surprise that she's wearing something so conservative, though it definitely looks cute. "Hi, Hanako. Happy birthday." "Ah, thank you." She's unusually skittish, despite the fact that she's warming up to me considerably over the weeks that we've come to know each other. This is a pretty unusual situation, I guess. Feel free to take a seat, Hisao. I'll pour you two some tea." "Sure thing." "See, man? Curses. We dropped the ball. We could have shown. I actually don't know. Does Hisao actually wear full pajamas? I prefer pajama bottoms and no shirt. That's usually my go-to pajama in bed pajamas. Then I put a shirt on before I leave my room, or a singlet. Singlet's really nice too. Or what do they call them? Undershirts. You guys may not call them singlets. It's something that my family has called them for years. Lily takes the steaming red teapot from the side of the table and gently pours its contents into our teacups as I take a seat beside them, sitting my bag against the nearby wall. With my senses returned and hormones somewhat calmer, I realize that this is the first time I've ever been in Lily's room. The first thing I notice is the ambient smell, just slightly different from that in mine. Probably faint perfume or nail polish. It could be anything of a girl's, really. Another is the plain nature of the room, visually. Beige walls, a smart yet unadorned cabinet, the lack of posters or wall hangings. It's distinctly utilitarian. Something I should have anticipated, given her blindness. The only thing that really seems out of the ordinary is several piles of books sitting on the floor, from each reaching from roughly knee height to waist height. Some of them have printed titles, others are entirely blank except for dots of braille. The fact that the ones with the printed titles are uniformly in English is interesting, Though not completely unexpected, she did mention her parents impressed the language upon her and Akira after all. Your room looks nice, Lily. I hear a call of thanks from beside my shoulder. Looking back at Hanako, her gaze is fixed on her lap and her hands are nervously clutching her gown. It's now that I notice why. With these clothes on, the extent of her scarring is far more visible, reaching down her neck and out to cover her right shoulder. Considering this is as a party for her, she doesn't really look like she's enjoying the experience now that I'm here. So, how old are you turning? 18? Her look of surprise, not at all helped by her total lack of skill at hiding her feelings, shows that she was trying to mentally tune me out. That is really quite awkward. Yes. On the plus side, there's only 2 more years till you can drink. So, who's older, you or Lily? Lily. She had her birthday in February. What about yours? Earlier this year, so it's already passed. Unstated is that it had passed while I was stuck in the hospital. That was a particularly low point of the experience. Conversation with her dries up as quickly as expected. It isn't long before Lily finished preparing our drinks, setting down the 3 teacups in front of us. I picked mine up, immediately noticing a much stronger aroma and taste than the tea we've been having. Huh? It tastes different than the tea that we have in school. It's a different variety, rather than the kind we've been having there. You've never tasted orange japur before? Not that I can remember. I usually drink coffee, after all, like when we were in town. This is nice, though. As we settle down and sip, Hanako seems to become more relaxed, or at least a bit less tense about my presence. We all finish our cups at once, cups at about the same time, with Hanako failing rather badly at hiding her anticipation for the cake that's sitting to the side, begging to be eaten. Come to think of it, I'm feeling very eager myself. First things first, though. Lily? Yes, now is good. Each of us knowing exactly what the other means. I lean sideways and dig around in my bag for the doll I bought Hanako, as Lily gets up and retrieves her gift. Hiding our gifts in our hands, we present them both on the table at the same time. Happy birthday! Hanako slightly sits, looking at them for a second on end, out of sheer surprise. My little wooden doll, replete with Victorian-era dress and little hat, lies next to a light brown and fluffy stuffed bear from Lily. She clutches at her gown as she moves to speak, not taking her eyes off the modest presents. Thank you, Lily and Hasao. Aww. It's a hug. Aww. Everything's okay. Oh, wait, sorry. Everything is Daijoubu. Aww. All is Daijoubu. Her voice begins to crack as Lily reaches forward, wrapping her in a soft embrace. The sight of Hanako holding Lily so tightly is heartwarming, so much so that I couldn't wipe the smile off my face even if I wanted to. As Lily gently rests her face on Hanako's head, she speaks so quietly and softly that I can barely hear. Happy birthday, Hanako. Happy birthday. Hanako gives a small nod, holding onto Lily for a time before breaking off and wiping an eye. I guess that for Hanako simply having anyone to be there and love her would be special. The fact that Lily and I can now share that role for her is something I think I will always be grateful for. Aww, look at her. So happy with her presents. Hanako gently takes the doll and teddy bear, holding them both to her chest as she warmly smiles. This game is... okay, now, knowing visual novels and just knowing how stories go, when they do stuff like this, They make you feel all Daijoubu. You know, they make you feel good inside. And they make it all cute and all amazing. And then they're gonna rip your heart out. So we have hit peak Daijoubu levels. So we're gonna hit the fan pretty soon. I'll be very surprised if we don't hit the fan pretty soon. For a long time, all three of us simply sit in happy silence. The quiet is not broken until Lily's soft voice beckons. Shall we have at the cake, then? Her proposal is met with two looks of unhidden anticipation. No argument from me. Okay. Phew, that was good. I contentedly sit back, both Lily and Hanako looking just as satisfied with the food as I. It took some effort, but we managed to finish off the cake in one go. Holy crap. Whenever I think of a cake, I always think of like ones that are like, you know, if you put your index finger and your thumb together, right? And then you just sort of expand it maybe about 3 or 4 inches. That's how big I think most regular cakes are. And I know hands and finger size vary from person to person, okay? But like that's enough cake for like 3 people. That's a lot of cake still. Whew. I don't think I could fit any more in. I think next time I'll buy a smaller cake. Hanako and I give a chuckle, but I can't help noticing that come this time next year, we'll have graduated from Yamako. The fact is somewhat depressing, since I finally feel as if my life is starting to get back in some kind of order. Idly looking around Lily's neat and orderly room, her books catch my eye again. This may be a little impetuous, but my curiosity gets the better of me. Besides, I don't think she'll mind in any case. Hey Lily, do you mind if I take a look at one of your books? You're quite welcome to, Hisao. That said, if you can overcome 2 language barriers, I'll be quite impressed. 2? Braille and... Oh, right, English. She gives a nod. I knew you were studying English, but I'm still amazed that you're this proficient at it. Oh, what? Wrong fucking voice for that. I knew you were studying English, but I'm still amazed that you're this proficient at it. One could say it's a perfect way to avoid people borrowing my collection. She says it in jest, but I'm a little disappointed. Having all these books around me with no way of reading them feels like one big tease. Hanako giggles quietly as I reach over the closest pile, plucking the topmost book with almost a curiosity glance. Death on the Nile, in large letters on the cover, is the only printed text to be seen. I sit back for a while with the book open on my lap as Lily and Hanako talk. Try as I might, I feel out the dots of braille printed on each page. They seem to blend into one another and become indistinct. I thought this would be a lot easier than it actually is. With some practice, though, I could see someone with a better sense of touch than mine managing to read at a pretty fast speed. Noticing a silence that had probably begun earlier, I look up from the dotted pages to see Lily smiling as Hanako sips another cup of tea. Is something wrong? Quite the opposite. Your curiosity is quite endearing. I am inordinately pleased by the praise, though I can feel my cheeks heating up a little. Thanks, but I don't know how else I could act. To be honest, I wasn't altogether sure of how you saw us, since you were a new transfer student from another school. If you'd pity us, I would have been quite offended. There's a certain edge to Lily's voice, one that I'd quite possibly place as pride. Glancing over to Hanako, she seems even more subdued than usual, looking towards Lily rather than me. I wouldn't worry about that. Considering the position I've found myself in, I'm perhaps the last person that should be dispensing pity on others. My parents' first interactions with me after my heart attack, I wouldn't want anyone to see that kind of face. I catch myself from going any further, but not soon enough. Both of the girls seem to be put off, Lily especially. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gone that far. An awkward silence reigns for a few beats, thankfully ended by Lily's head as Lily's head perks up in a gesture I've come to easily recognize. Hear something? The door. Everyone looks towards it, trusting in Lily's senses. True enough, the door handle shudders and turns. A flash of yellow and black slips through. Akira Satao and that is in the house. Happy birthday, Hanako. Thank you. She just bursts in, sits down. She's got a beer in hand. She's like, I got it. I hope she doesn't have a beer. That would be bad. We are in a dormitory. Akira takes a seat at the table as she plops her tall bag beside her. She has her trademark boisterous air about her, making no small deal of her entrance. Hanako clutches her gown to steady herself, but doesn't appear too shaken after she settles down. I guess she must have met Akira before, not a huge surprise given how close Akira and Lily are. Akira doesn't seem to be the least bit put off by Hanako's scarring, despite its prominence, but she also doesn't pull any punches in how she acts despite Hanako's shy nature. I thought you said you'd have to work, Akira. Did you manage to get off for a while? Kinda. I feel bad about ditching the guys down doing overtime, so I gotta get back soon. But I felt bad about not coming to your cute little Hanako's birthday, too. So, for now, I'm here. She grins wildly at Hanako, who flowers into a full blush as she pins her eyes downwards towards her lap. Her mouth seems to widen and retract over and over, as if she was trying to suppress a smile out of embarrassment. It's a little strange how her reaction seems to be more immediate and forceful than she's embarrassed by the way she looks. All she manages to give in return is a tiny nod, failing to hide her anticipation to any great extent. Not that many people give her positive attention, I suppose. It makes me respect how well Akira can handle her, making her so happy compared to what little I could do. Now then, before I go, she reaches into the bag beside her and grandly displays its contents. Out come 2 large glass bottles, both with long French names on them. Oh my god, she did bring booze. She actually brought booze. I mean, okay, she brought wine. It's not booze in the same traditional sense as you would use the word booze, but she's bringing alcohol to minors. Alcohol to minors. Shame. For shame. Now, I'm sure they're going to drink it, but for shame. Hanako's expression is an odd mix of surprise and curiosity, and I suspect mine's no different. Lily, not seeing the proceedings, is oblivious to what's going on. Akira, this isn't... What is it? Wine. 1 red and 1 white. Akira, that's... Relax. It's not like Shizune's here to scold you. Lily has a point. That's not exactly allowed on campus. Or anywhere, really. We're still short of the legal drinking age, remember? Rich words for someone practically drooling as he examines the bottle. She's got me there. I am genuinely interested in trying some, even just a little. While Hanako may not be handling one herself, her look does tell me that she's far from opposed to the notion as well. Lily rubs her forehead, giving up the fight as she knows Akira would win due to the simply not caring enough about those funny rules and regulations. Just don't breathe a word of this to anyone in the school, please. I beg of you. I'm not stupid, don't worry. That said, I gotta get back to work pretty soon. so soon, but she only just arrived. Sorry, Lily. I kind of... Part of me really wish she called her Lils. She probably wouldn't, but it's like, hey there. Yeah, sorry, Lils. You know, she's got this boyish nature, so she'd definitely give her sister a pet name. But maybe her sister's like, please don't do that. Good to see you two again, though. And you, Hisao. See you later, then. Goodbye, Akira. She levers herself up with a grunt and waltzes out of the room, leaving us alone with the 2 items on the table. Interesting. Lily gives a nervous giggle at her sister's antics as Hanako takes a wine bottle. So, what do you think, Lily? She rests her elbow on the table and pinches the bridge of her nose, thinking things through. She really doesn't seem to be able to keep up with her sister. Well, it's already here. We may as well have some. No sooner does she say it than I take a quick glance around the room for glasses. I guess we'll continue this drinking party tomorrow. This is gonna turn out weird. Remember how I was saying about the Daijoubu thing? Daijoubu is about to break. Alright, take care guys and stay frosty.